Monday, August 1st, 9:46, 43 running seconds. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining. Mabilisan lang ulit. This will be a brief broadcast again. I won't take too much of your time. I just wanted to provide some value for today. So, this is a test of a new color
Provide
format.
some value for today.
So, here we go. Be the bean. Why be the bean? Uh, Most often than not, we we try to find stories, we try to find patterns, we try to find guidance through everything. So I came across a story earlier today. So I think it's a good means of discussing resilience, discussing mindset. Hopefully I don't take too long in explaining it. So let's go. I'll roll the intro. So please stay tuned.
Everybody.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows
Ceremony
things
is
are bad.
about to
It's a
begin.
depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. We know the air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We don't go out anymore. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my... I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. At first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yun, we're back. Good evening, Sirki Guerrero. Good evening. So the story is from a book. It's called The Coffee Bean. It's a best-selling book from John Gordon and Damon West. I believe it's a fable. I think that's where they got it from. I heard it from other sources before, but it comes from like a different story. Good evening, Sir J-Man. Good evening. So the whole premise or the whole story that they created is about the carrot, the egg, and the coffee bean. So their whole case is about comparing or using it as a metaphor about qualities that we need to approach adversity or to approach life in general. So they start with the carrot. They're saying the carrot, when you take it out of the refrigerator, it's hard, it's tough, but when you boil it wilts down, it shrinks, it becomes soft, mushy, up to the point that it disintegrates. And then the egg, they say, comes out fragile. When you boil it, the shell becomes brittle even further, but it gets hard inside. It becomes from solid, it becomes too soft. Now there's the last one that they used as a metaphor, which is the coffee bean. The coffee bean takes a very long time to grow, to be useful. If I'm not mistaken, it takes about 4 years from plant to seed before it grows completely. Something that you can use, roast, boil, grind, and then enjoy a cup of coffee that we have every day, every single day. It, it was it was an enjoyable read. It kind of opens up a lot of avenues for reflection. So we'll go from there. So let's talk about the carrot. The carrot. Does it what does it provide us for the metaphor? What does it give us? Sometimes we have a false sense of ourself that we try to present ourselves under certain circumstances that we're tough, we're strong. These are qualities of people probably pretending, or maybe they're unaware of their weaknesses, they're unaware of their reaction to adversity or to life when it happens, because life will hit you. So the carrot people, I mean, I have no issues with them, but if you are unable to sustain yourself through adversity, if you get boiled, cut up and boiled, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself to things that you can accomplish, things that you can do, things that you can be great at only if you try, or only if you have pursued this other avenue that you have always been shying away from. So that's the carrot. I'll try to keep this short. I'll try to keep this, let's say, around 10 to 15 minutes. We'll see. So the carrot in itself, even if we take it literally, the carrot has a lot of things. As beta carotene, which is good when you consume it from the carrot itself. But when you start extracting beta carotene from the carrot, processing it and putting it in a pill, it has a different reaction to your body because the whole thing is a process. It is a process that your body needs to digest. It is a process that the chemical needs to go through. Good evening, Daddy Dens. So it's a whole process that we need to go through. If I'm not mistaken, that's why they took out those beta carotene capsules from the market, because they found out that if you take the beta carotene capsule, you get cancer, or it has some adverse reaction to your body. So it's no longer healthy. But if you eat a carrot, you get the beta carotene and its intended good results. So that's the funny thing. You have to go through a certain process. There's no shortcut to it. So now we'll move on to the egg. The egg comes out. It's fragile, yes. When it's fresh, there's so many things that you can do with the egg as is. You can break it, cook it, take it to town, or whatever you want to do with it. You can even bring life with that egg again. However, the egg in itself is too fragile. So there's a certain process that it has to go through in order for it to be malleable. Is it bringing value? We'll get to that. Bringing value. Are you changing the environment that you're in? So the egg, when you boil it, like let's say when compared to us, we react differently. If we're an egg personality, we become hard. We get toughened up by the adversity and the situation. We change with the environment. We change based on our reaction to the situation, the adversity, the people around us, everything. We change as a reaction. So again, there's nothing really wrong with the egg people, but is it enriching or is it empowering or is it making any change altogether? Maybe, maybe not. Are you bringing value? So now we'll get to the good part, the coffee bean. Coffee bean, again, takes about 4 to 5 years before it comes out of the tree. And then the coffee bean itself needs to be roasted, put in fire so that you can get the flavor out of it. I don't know. I haven't tried I haven't tried boiling an unroasted coffee, but I have chewed on it. It's too bitter. There's basically nothing you can use it. I don't know if you can take it. I don't know if you can enjoy it. So you put it in fire. You roast it at a certain amount of temperature. You turn it black for crying out loud. And then you grind that. You grind the seed. You grind it. Now, after grinding it, you boil it for crying out loud. You put it in boiling water. Then comes out the elixir of life, a cup of beautiful tasting coffee. So if we try to understand the whole narrative, if we're going to try and get the essence of it, coffee changes the inter coffee makes everything better. Coffee from the bean goes through all of its adversity in so many levels, in so many layers. It just takes a while before you can use it, and then you let it go through all of that hell so that it can change water, can change air because it gives off such a beautiful smell, especially after being roasted. It turns it turns unflavored water to coffee. It has changed the environment itself just by being there, just by interacting with it. So how would you like to be? I'd rather be the coffee. Good evening, Sir Ken Viper. Good evening, Club Namit. Good evening, everyone. So, would you rather be the carrot that whittles down? Would you rather be the egg that turns so hard? Or the coffee bean that amidst all of the tragedies that it goes through, amidst all of the adversity it goes through, it has the power to embetter and enrich the environment it gets put into. So it's not only the water that it changes, it also changes the people who consume it. Also changes the people who consume it. It makes you more energetic, it gives you life, it gives you sharpness, focus, and everything else. Is that how you're affecting people around you? Or are you bringing them pain, weakness? Are you bringing them sorrow? Are you bringing them what do you bring to the table? So it's a good way of looking at certain things. That's why I love reading stories. So what is it do you want to be? Would you rather be changed by the environment, or would you rather be the change in the environment? Exactly, sir. Buraot. Good evening, Francis. So, what's it going to be? What's it going to take? Yes, it's not going to be easy. I mean, not everyone can be coffee. Not everyone. Not everyone can have that opportunity, or not everyone can go through the whole process. But being people, if we go beyond the metaphor, if we're now looking at ourselves, is it really that hard to change? Is it that really hard to reconsider the opportunities that we have? Is it really that hard? Right? Is it so difficult, or is it the concept of that change, or even trying to change, that's difficult? Not everybody enjoys a bitter cup of coffee. So we move on to adding layers to yourself. So if you're a coffee personality, if you decide to empower or embetter the whole place, you can even enrich yourself further by adding milk, or adding cream, or turning yourself into a latte. So it's up to you how you can imagine yourself adding those certain layers, or reimagining yourself to be that palatable. I'm not sure if there's any other word for it, but palatable would be the best way to describe it. How other people would take you. You don't have to please everybody, but you should at least have a way. You should at least have a way with people so that they can enjoy your company, or they can at least enjoy their day with you. Valgeval, good evening. So, if you can enrich your environment, then I think that's it. There's no more, no less. You can start maybe with yourself. Do you enjoy the company of yourself? Are you a cup of coffee for yourself? What are the things that you don't enjoy about yourself? We can start with as small as that. What are the things that you think that you can add to yourself that you can enjoy? Or what do you think you can do with yourself so that you'll enjoy your own company so you don't get bored with yourself. Now, after that, once you start enjoying your own company, believe me, people will gravitate towards you. People will be magnetized by your own energy. People will be drawn to you. You don't have to seek people out. Most of the time, people who have issues with themselves in private are the people who other people also avoid. So it has to be a fair balance between the two. It always has to be balanced. We have to look at the fine line between the base, water, and the coffee that you need to become. So I think that's it. Unless you have any questions, concerns, violent reactions. So I don't know. I really can't find or I can't think of anything else to say or add to that. I want to keep it short and simple. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much. So be coffee, be the coffee bean in someone else's life or maybe your own life. That would be my parting thoughts and my parting words for tonight. Be enjoyable under any circumstance. Enjoy yourself under any circumstance. Be comfortable with yourself. Good evening, Marks. Good evening. Be comfortable with your process. Be willing to look at the bitterness, the darkness within. It's shadow work in psychology, Jungian psychology. We have to look at that. We have to look at the things that we need to change, what we're afraid of, the things that we need to go through. It's not going to be easy as always, just like the coffee bean. You might you might be looking too close. You have to step back and see a bigger picture. Or maybe you have to just cross that threshold so that you can be the better version of yourself or be the cup of coffee. But don't be artificial coffee, please. Don't be decaffeinated. Don't be fake. Be real. Be the real cup of coffee. So, unless anything else, again, thank you very much. Have a wonderful and safe rest of your evening. Hopefully, I can do another broadcast tomorrow. I'll think of something to talk about. If not, we'll just have a cup of coffee. So, have a wonderful and safe rest of your evening. Life is about making choices. Choose to be the bean and be safe. Be well.